This month we're going to organize my dyed paper that I have been working on and get it ready to put on my Etsy site. Then we'll use some of the dyed paper and make a few page tabs. Also, we need to figure out what we'll be doing this month and get it organized in my planner for July. Hi everyone, Patty here. I've been making my own inks from plants from the garden, rusty bits I have found. I will list in the description the videos I've made showing how to make the ink. Today I want to organize the iris dyed papers, which are a blue-purple color. Each packet of original dyed papers will have 10 pages along with a coffee filter that I use to strain the ink. Sometimes this is a different color than what the ink dries on the paper. I keep separating the pages and making sure I have some different patterns in each kit. Not all kits have the same patterns or the same look. Depending on the mordant used with the natural pigment, you can get different colors. It changes the pH of the natural pigments. The purple iris has a light purple tint to it, but it is mostly a green color depending on the weather when the pieces were drying outside and how long it takes them to dry. The pattern is on both sides of the original pieces. If the piece was drying on something else, you may have a different pattern on the back side of the page, but both sides are gorgeous. My favorite, rust ink. Collecting the pieces to use in my project when I'm on walks, it's an all-time favorite. I love to find washers, nuts, bolts, who knows what will look good. Last month I put this piece into a juried show and was accepted to enter the show. I used some rusty pieces on handmade cotty paper. It will definitely be in the digital kit that I'm putting together for the rusting. I have all 3 packets of the original pieces on my Etsy site with iris ink, lily ink, and rust ink. I've also made a digital packet of these pieces. Some may be worried about the smell of the original dyed pages, like the rust dyed pages. I use vinegar in making the rust ink, so it does have a little smell. I do feel when using these pieces in my journal, I do not notice any type of vinegar or rusty smell, but I wanted to make sure you could have the digital pages and you can print them out on any type of paper you like. I found these file jackets that would work for mailing the original pieces so they don't get bent or wrinkled when mailing. I put 10 pages into each file jacket, which has a 2-inch expansion or accordion bottom, so I can put 5 pages on one side and 5 on the other. I have 1 piece of deli paper or tracing paper that I have included into the packets and folded over the opening and folding a dyed coffee filter over the top of the deli paper. I do have some covered paper clips that I will use to close these file jackets up with. Peony dyed papers have a pink hint to them, and some are a little darker with a green hue. The coffee filter that I use to strain the ink is a bright pink, but some of the pages turn to green when the paper dries. It all depends on the temperature outside when I dried the papers and the type of paper. Most of the paper in the original packets will be with 28-pound paper. Some will have a piece of watercolor paper. No 2 packets are the same. I tried to pick out the pages with the most color and pattern in my original packets. You won't be unhappy with the pieces. The color of ink can dry a different color on the paper. The color of the flower can be different from the ink. Like an orange lily produced a purple ink, and when it dried on the paper, it's a blue-green. I'm amazed of the color changes, but they sure won't disappoint anyone. Just like what you see on the monitor is not the same as what the original looks like. I only made so much ink of the lily and peony because I just didn't realize how gorgeous it would turn out. So the original papers are in a limited quantity, but you can be sure I'll be making more of these 2 colors. I'm working on hidden paper clips that will place the paper clips I'm putting on my packets in this video. Those will be for next month. I'll be using some of the dyed pages and a little dangle showing what color it is. I also have adding some material to the inks and drawing some of it, so you might have a little piece of the material in your packet as well. I have 2 iris packets, 2 peony packets, and 3 rust packets. If I didn't have any of the deli or tracing paper, I used cheesecloth that has been dyed with the same ink that I had used for the packet, and added that. The deli paper, the coffee filters can all be used in your collage making. Let's make some page tabs with our dyed paper. I got out some small collage pieces. I like to mass make pieces of the collage bits with numbers and other small stamps on brown paper so it goes with everything when making collages. I fold a piece of the dyed paper. Make sure your fold is creased well. Cut the folded paper about 1 inch in width. You can make all different sizes and shapes. On the crease, cut a piece of the edge about 1/4 of an inch down and in an angle. Save the cut piece so you can use it on the other side to make sure your angle is the same. Now you have a page tab with the crease at the tab. You can use your corner rounder to round the corners or leave the corners square, your choice. I did this to both pieces. I also have a folded piece of the end of a file folder, so I thought I would make a few extra tabs for a trade I'm doing on Facebook. I need to make 2 for the trade. Following the same method as I did on the dyed pattern paper, I cut off 1/4 of an inch and angle the corners to make a tab on all 3 pieces of the file folder. One side of the file folder has some creases, but you won't see that when we add some of the collage pieces. Don't forget to ink your edges of all your pieces. I ripped off a piece of the dyed pattern paper to use in the collages and cover the file folder. Glue this to the file folder tab. You can leave some of the pieces hang wider than the actual tab that we made, because you're making a collage that you can have going out over the tab. Add a few numbers, labels, and collage a few pieces onto the tab. You will put your collage on both sides of the tab, covering the file folder and making sure the tab still opens up. I find that making a collage takes a little time to fit the pieces together and arrange the layers to make a pleasing piece. I added a number of the back of this piece so you will see it on the page when you put it on the side of your paper. Enjoy the process and keep layering your pieces till you get it the way you like. For the dyed pattern pieces, I didn't cover the whole tab as I wanted to show the pattern from the beautiful paper. So on these pieces, I just make a small collage on the center of the tab or wherever there is the least amount of pattern showing. Wherever there is a bit of white showing through, I made sure to add a little distress ink. On this tab, I wanted to add an eyelet to hang a dangle from. This is the perfect time to use the tiny specimens cards I made in a previous video. I made these tiny specimens in the specimen video that I will link in the description. I put a little hole in the specimen card. I didn't add an eyelet, which you could, but they are pretty small and I didn't have any small eyelets. I used a bulb pin and added them to the tab. How cute is that? And look at it on the page. I think it might need a little something in one area after trying it on the page. Add the little extra to the finish. These look great on a page in your journal. Keep collaging your pieces till you have all of your tabs finished and check to see how they will look on a page in your journal. The addition of the dangles I think are great, plus the patterned die paper are great additions to your page tabs. I had to show one more page tab using a rust-dyed paper and just ripping the edge, folding the piece in half and tearing it to fit a page. I didn't make this a tab, I just wanted the pretty dyed paper to put on the side of a page. This would also work if you have a ripped piece of paper and you wanted to mend it with a piece. The organic edge of the ripped edge makes this piece a special addition to your journal. I try it on a page and adjust the size of the tab. Don't forget to ink those white edges where you ripped the paper. I'm using Vintage Photo. distress oxide on the rust-dyed paper. This page is dyed on both sides of the paper. It would look good on either side, so I think I'll ink up all the edges on both sides, just in case I decide to use the other side. Let's dive into our planner and get everything organized. I always like to go back and see what I didn't finish the month before. I transfer those items to this month and try to figure out if I want to continue and do that item or if I just want to forget it completely. I have a few drawings that I have drawn out on the corner pocket of an idea of 3-tab insert. Haven't made it yet, but I have it documented so I can go back and try making it. The see-through pockets are working great. I have my list to-dos in this pocket, my ink swatches in this pocket. Now when I go back, I will know when the irises are in bloom or the peonies so I can be ready to make more ink. My step counter and habit tracker are well used this month. This is my recipe for the peony ink and how I made it. Swatches in the next pocket of the peony ink. More to-do lists. Now for this month. I add the month July on top of my calendar page and ink around the edges before gluing on the top of the page. This month, I also will be going to an awards ceremony for the juried show that I have been invited to attend. It is a Friday night with a wine and cheese ceremony. I just can't wait. I also have garden club meeting the 4th Thursday of the month, plus we have an art in the park vendors show that week and do plan on attending to see what all the vendors are making. This month I'll be participating in Junk Journal July with Meg Journals and Get Messy Art, so I need to make something every day and post on social media. That will keep me busy. I need to figure out what I need to do as my appointments are busy with running around with a dentist appointment. My mom is having shots in her eye for macular degenerate. This is an eye disease that affects the macular part of the retina, that is the central vision, and these shots is only prolonging the disease. It isn't fixing the problem. My mother is 93 and still lives alone and drives. My little doodle loves to go see her every morning and get cuddles. Anyway, this shot takes 3 to 4 hours out of the day, and I need to be there for taking her and being there for her. I want to add a page tab to one of these pages, but I don't want to cover up my calendar, so I try to find a place to put one of the page tabs. I've already mailed off 2 of the page tabs to the trade I was doing on Facebook. I can't wait to see what my partner sends me for the trade. If I put it on this page, it doesn't cover up too much of the weekly page, as we have 3 blank spots on the end of this week where nothing will be. Glue this tab with the tab sticking out so you can use it as a tab. My word this month is appreciation. I want to be appreciative of what I have, what I'm doing, and what will come next month. Our rent keeps getting raised, and it is raised 3 times in 2 years, so we're thinking about moving, and that will mean packing up everything and finding a new place. Yes, I will be appreciative of what I do have and wherever I end up. Don't ever take things for granted, as we never know what tomorrow will bring. Have a good month and enjoy your summer. We're looking at triple digits for several days. Welcome to summer. Bye, everybody.